listeners.
Hi, listeners.
I'm Jami.
I'm Joel.
And we are
Two People Evolving.
Of course, in a world evolving with all of you.
Without a doubt.
So here we are.
Yes.
It is 2016.
How about that? Happy New Year, everyone.
Listeners, Joel, have you been able to feel the magic in the air?
Is there magic in the air?
I'm feeling the magic of 2016.
I didn't mean to be sarcastic.
Is it?
Yes, I am feeling the magic in the air.
Have you also felt, listeners, feeling the magic? And have you been feeling, I know I've been feeling, there's work in a joyful way to go deeper in my own path, my own faith, my own groundedness, to reach a greater commitment for myself for this year, to be tuned in and lit up.
Tuned in, tapped in, and
lit up.
Lit up,
lit
yeah,
up, baby.
lit up.
And lit up.
Yeah.
So, listeners, here we are.
Let's lit
Thanks
up,
for
light
joining
up.
us. We're excited. Yes, the magic of 2016. And so here we are. Joel, it's really good to see you again.
As it is for me, for you.
Yes, my gosh, I've had so many travels, and
Yeah.
I've been traveling.
You've been a busy girl.
The four corners and making shifts in my life. I went through a series of some evolutionary activations and shifts and changes that were happening October, November, and getting clarity. In December last year, I took some very courageous steps to unfurl my wings and fly off a cliff of the unknown into some things in my life that are new.
Talk about faith.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I stopped a lot of things I was doing so I could say yes to Spirit for what's next. And I followed my heart to the Four Corners area where I've been meeting lots of beautiful people in a world evolving and the magic and beautiful time with family over the holidays. And I actually created a bridge with new friends and relationships going on between Sedona and Moab. And some of those folks have been coming to Sedona too. We're creating a bridge and getting into that area more. And there's something exciting happening in some travel journeys for me, but this is not all about me, this radio show.
You know, I'm going to thank you in front of everybody because you helped me do something that I've wanted to do for a long, long time. It's been within me for so long, and that's to bring these writings out that I've been doing, that I've been, experiences that I've had, and I've been sharing, and I've been storytelling. And so I have 2 books that are now available.
Yes, you do. You worked yourself night and day.
I did
Listeners, he is an amazing storyteller about beautiful things in life. I'm not going to say exactly what because we'll introduce those books in a minute, but it's part of the magic of 2016 because you just birthed 2 babies for 2016.
Boy, they've been in me a long time.
They've been in you a long time, and he was writing and telling these stories and has written a couple of books that are born now. We're looking at them right now.
Yeah.
And
I look at them daily, and I thank you for your input and your assistance because
that was fun.
It helped move it to where they are now, and they are ready.
They're beautiful, and those
really
books
great.
are a walk in faith and uncommon occurrences.
Yes.
And we'll always speak more about that, and you can go to the websites to see more on that. But
Yeah, so
Joel
that's part of my excitement
there.
for 2016. That's part of the magic.
Magic is birthing things.
Yeah, because I told you once that I was on my way to Phoenix, and this little voice came within me and said, I'm going to give you the time and energy to do what you came for, which brought me to tears. It just overwhelmed me. I'm like, oh, really? And so now these are out, and that's part of it. So
And
now I can go, okay, next.
it begins the next level. Listeners, did you hear what he said? What is it that if you imagined God or your big angel standing in front of you, or the light, or Muhammad, or Buddha, whatever you feel that you're accountable towards, what is the greater purpose of your life? If you asked yourself, what did I come here for? And we ask for the time and the clarity and the energy for what do we come here for? What a great question for leading that would align us right with the magic of 2016.
What are we here for? What are you here for? Ask yourself that question. I mean, for me, it's a great question because it gets me focused on what's really important and let go of things that aren't.
Yes.
And just pay attention. And I guess that's what I'm doing in my 2016. I'm really taking the idea, it takes a concentrated mind to focus on one thing or many things, but when you're focus on that you're focusing on, and dismiss everything else that might try to sneak its way in, because it's probably a distraction. That's what I'm finding.
Lots of things are distractions, listeners, you think? But I'm getting a sense of the word discipline for myself for 2016, and boy, that word has normally scared me.
I like that word because it takes a discipline.
Yeah, it does. And I happen to make peace with that word discipline. And the way that I've done it is I understand that the root of the word discipline is actually discipleship. And so for me to have a discipleship with life and with my star self, God's star self, Jami, that I am here to love. That's really my purpose. And I'm here to be lit up and illuminated. And I'm here to be more of everything I can be from the light within me that's transmuting everything I've been wimpy or at effect and story about in my life. And there's so many programs and tapes we inherit through our ancestry and through our world, and God knows the media images on the TVs, and there's actually a lot of programs and interference from things and those that like to control humanity for their own purposes, but we're not going to go in there on this show. It's not about that. It is kind of happening in our world, but
it is, but we can understand it and we can evolve ourselves beyond it.
And evolution, yes, a celebration of the spirit that animates us, of all the consciousness of choosing to use our higher mind, some people call it the christened mind, state of ourself, to bring ourselves alert to that, alignment with that, and to go to our hearts and pray for that, and to walk as that. In a realized soul being, I think some people would call this awakening and enlightenment and things like that, but in christenment, whatever that is, it's more of us here and present.
Right.
And that's what it's about. And I made commitments this year for myself that it wasn't about the things that I wanted to choose to create. Last year it was a lot of creations and taking the steps to a creative life and finding joy in the mundane and finding silliness in life, because I was getting too serious on my evolutionary path, which is okay. That was part of it.
It is okay.
And that was a discipline to do that. But I cracked the door open on creative living last year and being open for that and facing some boogeymen of my my life path that were scary, that had been going on for a few years with health and finances and abandonments. And, I can go into the stories and the dramas, and we all have them, because this is...
We're on the planet. We do
on
have...
the planet.
Yeah, we have things.
And these are key transformational times.
Absolutely.
So I said it's not about the things this year for me, but it's about who I choose to be. And so I made the intention for myself, above all tension, that I choose, and I am peaceful knowingness. I am knowingness of my divinity in action in me as Jami. And I don't really care about the things and all that, because I know that when I make that statement, and I am living and breathing and feeling and animating that in my cells to be the biggest pillar of light that I can be on this planet, living lit up, in joy, fully present for what is happening around me, while I set my intentions and set my rudder that I'm living peace, joy, awareness, kindness. I'm going to choose all those attributes that I want to be, that are important for me. But from that, the things that I need to support me, I believe, will come magnetized to me automatically, because from that statement and from what I feel called to be on this planet, there are some things I need. I would like some cash. I would like my rolling ambassador angel mobile. I want that a little RV.
I could give you a couple of dollars.
Hey, perfect. I said, no, you just gave me a cup of tea. This is great, because I've just manifested tea.
See how lovely it is.
So I'm not concerned on the things this year, Joel.
Well,
I'm
lovely.
concerned in being peaceful, that I release the fears I've had about enough money to have the things. And I'm going to live in joy and celebration and sharing of what I have with the resources, and opening up all conduits where they may have been blocked and impediments for my good to be able to receive. But living in peaceful knowingness is helping me emanate the light into those areas of myself as I choose this as my evolutionary course this year. And the rest of me that's not illuminating in those frequencies, such as lack or, lack of creativity.
Now, I know you well enough, I feel, that you don't discard if something comes up into your present awareness, of some feeling of like that, like a lack or a.
Oh, they come up all the time.
Well,
But how do I dance?
I just want to say, listeners, I know Jami well enough. I feel that I know she doesn't just hide her head in the sand and go. No, she brings that to her heart to love, that aspect that might be afraid, that might be facing something, and then move through that.
It's not always pretty, listeners. You might hear me sounding very, oh yeah, my peaceful knowingness. But you can only dance that dance and commit to that when you're not afraid to tackle the alligator.
That's right.
And then love it.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Okay, this is really, I believe, this is the magic of 2016 is a vigilance for our commitment to evolution. And I believe, listeners, you're on a commitment or you wouldn't be attracted to something called Two People Evolving,
Okay.
Meaningful Conversations on the Evolutionary Path.
Right.
We're not here talking about evolving to be the greatest species of human we can be, because I think that's actually a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's the spirit animating the human, the divinity called into our density, which is our evolutionary quantum leap right now, as we are going into what I believe, and in many terms, as this new paradigm in this golden age of living, in this golden age of the heart, where our Christ consciousness illuminates and explodes on this planet, or the illumination of the light, the illumination of greater good. Need I go on?
I like it.
Hi, listeners.
I
How
like
you doing?
it. Which now brings a question I have for you, the listener. What are you tapping into in 2016? What lights you up? What if you went to bed and this was your last night on the planet, would you be able to say, you know what? Good job. I did it. I did what I came to do. I'm okay with that.
And let's look at that for just a minute. Because if this was the last night, and let's just say you actually had a little heads up so that you're not caught deer in a headlight in the middle of a heart attack with about 30 seconds left to ask that question. Think about it now. It happened to me once. Oh, wow. Yeah,
you know,
don't
when
want
Plato
that.
was on his deathbed, his followers said, so what do? He said, practice dying. That's what you should do. So always be aware that it can happen any second.
Yes.
So the question is, so what is it?
Yes, and what has our life been up to this point? There's going to usually be some regrets and things that kick in when we ask ourselves this question, or, no. But if we just skip all the regrets and all that, we're going to take this to the common denominator of one simple answer right now. What has our life been about so far? What's the main thing we've been teaching ourselves? Look at that in yourself, listeners. Answer that for yourself, and it will help you make the choice of what you want to choose for this year.
Yes.
I think if you really can get clear, and all of us can get clear on the attention of the experience we want to have, so we can keep our attention directed and call forth that intention and make those declarations and bring our mind and our heart and our bodies to walk into these things this year, that will help us know how to be in alignment with the magic that's out there right now. This is a year, I love reading people that are really good at the astrological reports, and they can combine ancient traditions of astrological Chinese zodiac signs, the oracles from around the world that are ancient, and their mathematical understandings, really, and sacred geometry understandings of what is happening at the time in the universe and on this planet with the energies that are pushing us to assist us on an evolutionary path. They're actually quite helpful. But 2016, this is a year, all sources agree, this is manifestation of, and this is mastery. It's the manifestation that comes from mastery. This is important to note the difference.
That is very important.
This is a year of mastery where we master that where we have been wobbly and taking a stand for who we want to be and how we want to love. That's really all we're doing on this planet anyway.
Well, I hope that's what we're doing. I hope the main focus that we all understand is it's about love. Because everything else is going to be temporary anyway. So love is. It just is. We don't have to do anything about it. It's just, we don't have to manifest it because it is what it is. It already exists. So if we can experience that and express that more fully within ourselves and with whoever we come in contact with, then I think I can go to bed tonight and rest and go, okay, I did it. I did what I came here to do.
And if I haven't done it, listeners, we're not all going to say I've done it.
Right.
I did it. But if we say, well, I didn't do that exactly as I would have liked to, but what have I done?
Yeah.
What have I done here? And take stock, and please praise yourself for what you've
Absolutely.
done, because it's
Don't
the
ever beat
little
yourself up
things.
for it.
It's the little things. If you've done one kind thing in your life,
Right.
hold on to that.
Yeah.
We all, I believe, every being has. A baby has its first smile.
Yeah.
Until it
Absolutely.
gets abandoned, beat up, broken, programs,
Right.
ancestral tapes, and what it was here learning. So
Mm-hmm.
whatever that is, take stock, listeners, of yourself, and take a look at what you've really done up to this point. Congratulate yourself and be gentle with yourself, and now choose your next step for this year. But most important, choose your next step for this month. Get your greater vision of what the year will be for you.
Right.
I picked for myself that I wanted to go deeper in my walk of faith. Joel's book really inspired me. Oh, man. The books are amazing, and the uncommon occurrences and how to really tap into those more. But I wanted to deepen my walk in faith, and I really wanted to walk from a space of illumination that whatever's happening from me, I know I'm taken care of. I know that I'm provided for. And I can open up the channels in me that are afraid, so I can go back into my natural, God-given receptivity to receive. And so whatever's going on, yes, we do the work, but we've got to commit to our intention for this year of the experience we want to create, and then take that with what's your first step this month to anchor that. And you can do that best by being clear where you've gotten to by the end of 2015 with what you've learned. Pick new and fresh that which serves you next. Love and hug and forgive yourself, and let everyone else off the hook for what they couldn't give you.
Right.
Because we're here to learn to give it to ourselves,
Yeah.
number one, and we're here to learn to let them off the hook, to give us all those things we think we need to be safe, and or prosperous or loved or appreciated. They're really mirroring back them out there. They're mirroring back to us when they have that reaction to us. What in us doesn't know how to stand okay in ourselves around that, so we don't hook into it. These are new behaviors that many of us are blossoming into as a next step, quantum leap in evolution on this path in a world of extraordinary evolution right now, a world evolving.
May I suggest also that if and when your world gets a little crazy or something, a reminder that we can always remind ourselves about: be still.
Stillness.
To be still. The reason I say that is because when our minds start getting cranked up and start spinning out of control, and we get anxious and we get this and we get that.
Yikes, my mind.
Yeah, whatever we're getting. Yeah, yikes, my mind is right. To just be still, because it feels counterintuitive to the part of us that is spinning and trying to find its way and finding answers. But I woke up this morning with, why do thoughts arise? Certain thoughts. It just popped in my head. Why do certain thoughts arise? And there's many reasons for that. I don't want to go into that right now, but I found that if I'm asking the question, I don't have the answer, or I wouldn't ask the question. So what's really important is to be still. Don't look for the answer where it can't be found. If you had the answer, you would have the answer. So if you got a question popping up about certain things, don't go spinning off and trying to figure it out, because you can't figure it out from the level where the question came from. When you reach stillness, that's when answers can come. That's when guidance can come. That's when inspiration shows up. And if you can't immediately be still, just acknowledge, okay, I'm not still, and just accept that fact.
That works for me. I have to address the white elephant in the room.
Absolutely.
I have to actually call it what it is.
Yes.
It may bring a lot of emotions, and the more emotions it brings, the deeper and faster my healing comes.
Absolutely.
Because it leads me to my heart, into the point where the original disconnect was at, from feeling secure and safe and peaceful and loving.
Right.
So I call it what it is. And
that's what I'm saying. I know you're good at this. I know you have the courage to do it. It takes courage, by the way.
I've had to learn how to do this. This is not what our world teaches us to do. We fix and jump and affirm away, and we do all these denial and distraction or squirrel, give ourselves a new task. But when we're on a high evolutionary path, these voices are like children that we're never getting attention.
Right.
So they really are acting out to get a need met, to be loved. And you know what? They have a gift. They have a gift. Anybody seen that movie, Inside Out? It's going on right
that
now.
movie.
Well, this is, you guys get to the theaters,
Yeah.
or by the time you
Rent
hear
it,
this,
whatever.
check it out on Netflix or whatever. But wow, is this an amazing story that speaks to the childlike wonder of our heart and teaches us new ways to address the committee in our head. And that really we can embrace sadness, because sadness has a gift. And we can embrace any of these things, but we've got to call it what it is, the white elephant in the room, because I don't know about you listeners and Joel, but I can't go from 0 and 60 from a panic moment to stillness.
No, because we have momentum.
Or the
so we
nagging
have
voice.
to just, that's what I mean. We got to just slow it all down, let it all be.
Now, there's times now, in fairness to my evolutionary path and the work I'm doing, there's times I can go, stop, suspend, transform, and I know and I feel the difference, and I just see the image shattered like a million pieces, and it's going up to the light. You know, it's like transform, transmute. For I am grace, that was old story. Transmute,
right.
stop, and poof, you know. But I've had to learn what my stories are nagging at me to do the work, and know when it's just a nagging thought. I've had to learn the difference.
Yeah, it's discernment.
You
and
can try it, listeners.
Yeah,
you'll
just
know.
play with it. You'll know.
You'll know if that's, that's just a stupid thing, and I've dealt with that a million times. It's just a voice for a minute. It's like swatting a fly, you know, or a mosquito or a gnat or something, but, you know. But really that point where we can address what it is and call the fear and the feeling what it is. And then, oh, for Pete's sake, congratulate it for showing up, and
Right.
yourself, ourselves, for having the courage to look at that part of ourself and thank it, because it's an aspect of ourself that's been learning that lesson and holding those emotions and fears for us. And listen to it and speak with it and say, yeah, I know that's how you felt. You were willing to take that hit for the whole rest of me to learn that. Thank you. I never really thanked you and loved you and said how courageous you were to go through that divorce. How courageous you were to let the person you love walk right out of your life. How courageous you were, and how courageous you were to try. And it's okay that you didn't know how to do it.
And it's okay if you didn't succeed in it.
It's okay,
It's
because
okay.
you were learning, and now you have
Right.
more compassion
Yeah.
for others on the journey.
Yeah.
And you can still learn. You can still make that phone call of cleanup and let them off the hook for what you may be still persecuting them for. Go give them a hand. Take them off the cross you nailed them on. I mean, it's whatever it is we're doing. These are moments we actually talk with parts of ourself, because we're multifaceted, infinite parts, all learning about how to dance with everything out there to bring this light within us to every piece of density and thought and emotion and everything. And
Well, that would be my suggestion for 2016 for any of us, that if we start to get crazy in our minds and whatever, just to be still.
Yes.
Just sit and just be still.
so that little chit chat I just gave was really a way to take ourselves from 0 to 60, to address what's coming up
Yeah,
that's nagging
right.
and aching, and express the emotions with it. And then take your Joan of Arc and your Hercules energy archetype and congratulate yourself and hold the truth for love for yourself, or whatever your commitment is for yourself this year. And with that, take those deep breaths that bring it all the way down to your belly, and then breathe in some deep breaths that bring it up.
Yep.
There's some wonderful breathing techniques that can help to do this, and they will take us into the quiet of our mind. And now we can live in stillness.
Yes.
So we can live in that kind of stillness with grace. So stillness is important this year.
Well, it is for me. I'm just suggesting this is what part of me, what I'm doing. And then I'm listening. I'm following what I'm being guided to do and inspired to do.
Stillness is so important, because it's the stepping stones that I take to get into the stillness, so I can hear and feel what really matters. And I can feel myself in a peaceful knowingness, or I can feel myself available to receive peaceful knowingness. So this is a beautiful year. This is the magic of 2016. The energies, I mean, the planets are all lined up in really cool patterns right now. We have universal, galactic, and Gaia force, for those of you into these words, and the Christ force, the Holy Family force, angels, everything is lined up in every way it could possibly be lined up, that we don't have to be worried about or concerned about, for us to have a fast track to peace, to love, to success in our life. And we really need to unhook I think, from anything we thought should be success and say, what is it my heart is really calling me to? Because
Lovely.
the heart is the key for mastery and is the key for knowing what it is we even want to manifest. So that's a good thing for all of us to get clear on, and I'm going to dance with that journey this year, Joel.
I love that. I am too. It's perfect.
Wow, it's that time.
Well, it's been fun, Jami, as always, of course.
Listeners, thanks for dancing with us and
Yes,
evolving with us
absolutely.
in a world evolving.
Thank you.
I'm Jami.
I'm Joel.
We are Two People Evolving. You can go to our website for some more shows that are parked on the website, learn a little bit about us, and we'll be introducing Joel's books and some of the other cool things that we're going to be taking into the world this year. That is www.
twopeopleevolving.
Don't forget the dot. Hang
I
on.
know,
Start
dot.
over. Erase. Rewind. Start over.
www.twopeopleevolving.com.
Yay. Listeners,
we
the
did
magic
well.
of 2016, we love you so much.
Tap into
Go
it.
live lit up. Live your mastery. Call in your mastery this year. Bring out your Joan of Arc and your Hercules and all of your great archetypes, and go love everyone else that does not feel the excitement and the joy of the mastery and the magic here for us in 2016 in a world
Beautiful.
transforming.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Joel,
Yeah, Jami.
it's a pleasure.
You know,
Until next time.
until next time.